Hi, I'm JJ Conway, and I help hardworking women and a few good men build financial confidence and take ownership of their financial future. I'm cheering you on with education on financial literacy, smart investments, and passive income streams. Welcome to Ladies of Wealth.
Regardless of where you want to be in the value ladder, make sure you've got a way to bring people with you, okay? There's still one more key we got to talk about. We got to talk about it because if you're going to build a business that you're only working 2 hours a day, you have to come correct with your processes, okay? So now we talked a little bit about the processes behind the lead magnet. You know, people give you their information, you put them into a nurturing relationship where you are now building relationship with them through emails and phones and social media, and maybe you host events or whatever else it is that you do that you can build relationship with people. You are building relationship that way. I found when I had the small list, I built relationship by praying for people, and I built relationship with people by the emails. My emails were much more personal than they are now. So those of you who've been on my list, you've noticed a transition to more business, and now I'm trying to bring it back to more personal. So you're going to start seeing those blog posts on Saturdays again. But we had the memes and we had the blog posts and we had all the things. And I realize y'all can't see me. This time I'm trying to talk to you and you can't see me. But we had all these different things. Well, the software that I was using made that easy to do. And then as I grew up in software, I discovered that what made that platform so easy back in the day, nobody else duplicates at lower cost points anymore. So even with that software, when I upgraded that software to accommodate a growing list, it didn't include the things that made it easy for me to build relationship. And so you have to find that balance. And I know for me, I want to send people emails they want to open. I don't want to send you emails that you hit delete on. I do realize it's been like a month since I sent a monthly weekly affirmation because I thought I set it all up during my cruise and I never actually, nothing went out. And it's just been like weeks now and nothing's got out, but it's important about building relationship. Okay. So you need to have those two things, but you need to have good processes to help you do that. And that's our third key. Our third key to building a business that you just work in 2 hours a day is going to be having efficient processes. Okay. You have to have efficient processes if you're not going to be working longer. Now, y'all. You got to have efficient processes anyway. You know, if you are wasting time for 8 hours a day, and if you take out all the inefficiencies, you really got 2 hours of work. Well, that's 6 other hours I could be doing something with my family. That's 6 other hours I could be having fun on the beach, you know? And a lot of us, I know, I don't always say things the right way. I don't always say things the nice way. I'm saying this with every ounce of love that I can give you tonight. Sometimes we are lying to ourselves. We think we're doing the thing. We might even do like I do, and we put it on the calendar. But we ain't doing it. We're not doing it. We're not doing it, and the results show it. Okay. So having more efficient processes about some things is going to help you whittle down all of the effort it takes to run, to start, to maintain, to run a business, to whittle that down into 2 hours by having more efficient processes. And then one of the first processes you're going to have to figure out is how to build relationships up that value ladder. And there's software that can help you do it for free. Some people use Instagram, which is still free. You know, some people use Facebook, which is still free. There's a lot of ways to do that for free. And then there are more powerful ways that might cost something. But y'all, I'm actually getting really excited about something that's coming out because there was a company I used a couple years ago to help with my business. And of course, the person who founded it, they went on to do something else, and the new people have kind of let it flounder a little bit. So I haven't been using it anymore. But that founder who has founded some of the biggest things that, you know, if I told you, you would know exactly who I'm talking about. They have come up with a new course software, and it's unlimited courses, unlimited communities. And right now it is at a lifetime buy. So instead of paying $500 a month for it, you can pay $500 for life. And I'm waiting for my code to get it down to $297 for you. Okay. I'm waiting for that. And so I'm very excited about that. And, you know, that'll take a lot of load off of people, because that's one thing that will be able to work itself. It will be something that it'll help you with this value ladder. But if you don't have $297 right now, I don't want you spending $297 that you don't have. I want you to get out and earn that money and then come back and earn that money and get the free stuff and come back. What do they say in real estate? The deal of the century comes around once a week. The good deal's always going to come back. See, the high pressure sales tactic. Oh no, there's only one left. And if you don't get it now, you're going to be out forever. You know what? If you don't get it with this gal, somebody else has got it. It'll come back around. If it's for you, it's for you. And if it's not for you, then it's not for you. And if you can't afford it, it's not for you. Ooh, somebody needed to hear that. Somebody about to spend some money on some stuff that they don't have to spend, and they're going to justify it by saying, oh, I'm going to spend this money and I'm going to make 3 times that tomorrow and it's going to be okay. You don't know that. Don't spend your family's food money. Don't spend your emergency savings. I understand you care about your business. I understand you want to grow. And this next tool just seems like it's what you need to do. But I promise you, if you abide by sound financial principles, it'll be more of a blessing than a cursing. The Bible says the curse causeless does not come. That means any curse that comes into our life, there's a reason behind it, whether we caused it or somebody else caused it, or it's for the glory of God, how we get pulled out of it and vindicated through it. But there's always a cause. There's always a reason. And quite frankly, as entrepreneurs, usually the reason is us. Oh, the reason is us. And we don't like it. So if you don't have the money, don't buy the tool. But you do have to have some efficient processes. And the reason I put efficient in here is because we don't know what we don't know until it comes to bite us. And so if you're starting to build a following and you have people email you directly, you need a way to handle those emails. You need a way to be able, you need to set aside time to actually respond to the emails. I know I'm guilty. Some of y'all have emailed me 2 or 3 times like, hey, did you get my email that I've sent you 4 times now? Hey, did you get this invoice? Hey, you're speaking on our stage. We need a royal we here. When I point my fingers, I got 3 more pointing right back at me when it comes to processes. And every step of your business, you're going to find that you're going to have to refine your processes. So what you want to do is get in the habit of understanding that processes are needed now, so that you don't have so much of an aversion to changing processes, updating processes, or being more efficient with processes later. So the first process you really want to have is you want to have a process to manage this relationship. And that doesn't have to be spending $2,000 on some kind of customer relationship software. You know, when you're just starting out, it could be as simple as using your Gmail account. I know. Google does not like marketing emails, but relationship is not built through marketing. You hear what I'm saying? Relationship is not built through marketing. You can take your Google email and send a weekly update at how you're doing and what impact you're having in the world, or inspiring stories or something like that. And you can build up enough relationship, set out a class, maybe a sales, you email everybody once a week. And then in the 7th or 8th week, you offer a class. You're not going to get flagged for spam for that. And you might just make enough with that class to go buy your mailing software. Courses. People are like, oh, well, I gotta spend all this money to make a course. You don't have to spend all this money to make a course. Now, I will say Facebook getting crazy now, y'all. Facebook helped me build a good amount of my business, but you know what they're doing now? They're deleting your videos after 30 days. But YouTube is free. And you can make YouTube videos unlisted, which means nobody can find them unless they have the link. So you can make a 3-part video course on YouTube for free, and you can either do it as a lead magnet, or you can charge a small amount and then set up a series of 3 or 4 emails to deliver each video to the person that bought your entry-level course. That didn't cost you anything. And if you signed up through Stripe or Square or one of those free processing services, they're going to take their 3% or 5% or whatever it is out, but you can make money without having to spend the money first until you've tested the concept and you know that it's going to work. But the bottom line is you got to have a process for building that relationship. And every time that my business has faltered, y'all, it has been because I have somehow dropped the ball, or I have somehow messed up something or disconnected something or bought something and didn't connect it, whatever, that messed up my ability to build relationships. And okay, COVID. Yeah, COVID too. Although COVID really helped my business, but then it was the after effect when everybody started saying, we don't want any more Zoom. We want to be in person. That kind of took a dive because my business wasn't ready to return to back in person. But for the most part, anything else that I've done in my business where I can't just put a class out there and sell it, usually it's because I have dropped the ball in relationship building. And I've been through so many different platforms, but I settled on the one I'm in now that, yeah, you know, there's been a lot of seams in that process. So you want to have a process to handle that. So you want to have a process to handle your relationship. When you go to a conference, you go to a trade show. I bought some stuff at a trade show. Wonderful stuff. I am never going to be back in that town. And I'm trying to find this vendor. And I cannot find this vendor anywhere. Fantastic product. But I can't find anything with their logo. I can't find anything with their name. I can't find anything under their Facebook. I mean, they don't have a Facebook. They did have a Facebook, but I couldn't find it. Their phone number, their company name, their logos on their product, nothing was available for me to find it. I happened to run into them in my last trip, and I'm like, didn't you sell me blah, blah, blah? I love that. And I was like, well, tell me about I wish y'all had a Facebook or something. Oh, yeah, we have a Facebook. Really? I couldn't find it. So then they give it to me. Y'all, their name was slightly different. Their logo was slightly different. Their number and all that stuff. It was all different than what they put on the product. And so you need to have a process for ensuring that what you do all gels together and matches. I know, I'm not the poster child for that. It's taken me a while, but on most platforms, my photo is either the same or it's obvious that it's me. On most platforms, my handle is JJ Knows the Way, on most platforms. Now I have my pastor picture that I use, and I have my Juneteenth picture that I use, and I have my JJ Conway picture that I use. For the most part, they're consistent across platforms in those different genres, okay? And that's something that you want to do, because if I could have found that person before, I would have ordered more from them. But in the meantime, I found somebody else who had a presence and had what I needed. And when I searched for it, it popped up, okay? And so we want to understand that we need to have processes for that. So there has to be a process for how am I going to make sure all my stuff aligns. And guess what? One part of that process probably needs to be for a lot of us who have all these different platforms and all these different handles, and we don't do anything with the accounts. We either need to find a software that will connect all those accounts. And then I haven't found one yet that connects them all, but I do the ones that most are connected in one thing and roll with it. And, or we need to let some of them go. And because it doesn't help you to have an Instagram that hasn't been updated since 2020, 2015, 2001. I don't even know when Instagram came out. Was Instagram even out in 2001? You know what I mean? Like you get on some pages and it hasn't been updated since 2013. And I'm like, okay, well, that's 12 years ago. I need to know what your business is doing now. It doesn't mean that they're not in business, but they just haven't updated anything. And so, you need a process for relationships. And if you're going to have a social media process, if you're going to have a social media presence, you need to have a process for how to manage that presence. Okay. The next process that you want to look at is you do want to look at your fulfillment processes. Okay. You want to look at making sure you have efficient processes so that you can get people their orders. Now, if you are selling something digital, this is far easier than if you're selling something that takes a whole lot of customization, and then you have to make it. They have to give you the colors they want. They have to do this and that and the other, and then you have to make it and mail it to them, and they have to approve it, and blah, blah. Like every industry has their differences, okay? But you have to make sure you've got a good fulfillment process. And I'm going to tell you a story that really came to bite me in the behind, because only twice in my life have I had a chargeback. Now, that is not a threat or an invitation to y'all charge me back, okay? I try very hard to make sure that when you give me your money, you are getting the value that you expected to get. I work very hard on that. I do know I still owe people for Juneteenth as far as getting them their products. And I'm working on getting that backlog cleared, because with all the different platform changes we've had, we lost a lot of recordings. We lost a lot of stuff. Okay. So I'm doing my best to piece all that together. But for the most part, when you buy something through me, there are different things along the way that you have to acknowledge, whether you get a refund or don't. And I try to give grace as much things as I can. Like if we have an event and you buy your $99 ticket, I want you to have the ability to get your refund if you need to, if life happens. But if you're trying to get a refund the day before, well, I already done bought your t-shirt. I've already ordered your mug. I've already ordered this pens. I've already ordered your Padfolio or whatever it is that I'm giving away. That $99 didn't just go in my pocket. I'm not there yet. One day I will be, but I'm not there yet. I like to have stuff at my conferences. And so you're not going to get that money back within a couple of days, but I usually try to give as much as I can. And so I've only had 2 chargebacks. And one was somebody who went to one of these gurus who said, cancel all your other subscriptions, charge back all your other stuff, and only focus on us for 90 days or whatever it is. That was one. And I was really upset that she did that, because that's not fair. I really, if you're taking up with one of those people that teaches that, unless you got fired, lost a loved one, or some other extreme financial hardship, I don't think it's fair for you to back out on your obligations, your commitments. Hold on, my screen backed out. I don't think it's fair for you to back out of your commitment and then blame the service provider. It'd be better if you came to me directly and said, hey, I lost my job. Can you please stop my payments? Of course, I'm going to stop your payments. Now, if I see that you just bought you a new car and then you were talking about how you bought a new big screen TV for the big game, well, when you want to come back, I probably won't let you come back. You're going to have to finish paying for that other thing first, right? But I mean, if your house burned down, of course I'm going to let you out of that agreement, okay? And the other one I had, though, she bought through Stripe. She bought her Juneteenth conference through Stripe. And after she bought the ticket, because I tried to set them up a year out, I had set it up on a platform called Event Noir, and I didn't realize that the Stripe tickets were still out there, because in my mind, if I don't send you the link, you shouldn't be able to find it. Well, she found it. I don't know how she found it, but she found it. And she bought a ticket that was supposed to give her recordings and all this stuff. And she legit never got nothing, because I didn't even get a notification that she paid me. And you're like, well, how did you miss $100? Well, I was doing a conference. I mean, we're talking, we're talking $20,000 to $30,000 to $50,000 flowing back and forth between the venue and the event planners and all that stuff. I mean, I'm not trying to say $100 is not a big deal, but in that kind of context, $100 is kind of in the ebb and flow of things, And so I didn't notice until she did the chargeback. But the reason I didn't know that she paid me is I didn't have a good process for keeping track of that. I was flying by the seat of my pants trying to get this conference done. And because I was going off of emotion and some caffeine instead of solid processes, I caused trouble for my business down the line. And so you want to make sure that you have some efficient processes. You want to have efficient processes for how you manage your relationship with your clients. You want to have efficient processes for your order fulfillment. You want to make sure that you have efficient processes for all the different things that we have talked about tonight. Okay. And so now those are my 3 keys. Those are my 3 keys that you need in order to build a business that you can work from home for 2 hours or less. Okay. If you can narrow down your ikigai, what is it that is the intersection of what you love to do, what the world needs, what you can be paid for, and what you're good at? If you can make sure you've got easy profit pathways, so not only how do you get their money, but how do you walk them up the value ladder? And if you can make sure you implement some efficient processes and get in the habit of always challenging the efficiency of what you're doing as your business grows, you can run your full-time business for only 2 hours a day. Now, I hope that has sounded really good to you. I hope that you are interested in joining us. Now, here's the cool thing. All right. I'm going into my system right now. I'm looking at my messages, and I see all these folks who have already jumped in. And guess what? Because you took action, you are free. It says down here the first 3 are free. I'm basically going to cut it off as of this moment. Everybody who already said they were going to jump in, you are not going to have to pay for this class. Now, you will notice that this class is a very, very low price. So why do you think I'm making this class a very, very low price? My time is worth a lot more than $9. Why do you think I'm making this price super low? Drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. Yes, thank you so much for being on today. Oh my goodness, it always makes my heart sing when people come on and they're participating in the class. And thank you for letting me use your business as a test case. I hope you get some clients from it. Somebody said one of my favorite cartoons, and I forget what motivated the conversation, but somebody said something about exposures, and one of my favorite cartoons is, yeah, but I can't pay rent with exposures. Okay. Yes. So this is $9 is not quite a lead magnet. Okay. It's like a lead magnet. Okay. My one-on-one coaching is $2.99 an hour for one-on-one coaching, right? I am charging this for $9 because I am creating an entry level. I am creating an entry level door. This is an entry level gate. I want more people to be exposed to my work, but I do not want a whole bunch of people in there who are just coming in for the fishes and loaves. I want people who are actually serious. And you say, well, $9 isn't a whole lot of money, but it's better than zero. And it's amazing. So this is something that you may not know, that some of you may not know today. There's a huge difference with even just paying $1. There's a huge energetic difference that happens when you are exchanging your valuable, what they call consideration. Your valuable money is going into the hands of somebody else in exchange for a service. It is different energetically than if you come to the class for free. But those of you that already took action, because you took action, I know that you are the kind of people that I want in the class. So you're getting in the class for free, okay? As my gift to you for taking fast action. Because, normally when we have these conferences, or not conferences, normally when we have these classes, I teach a wonderful webinar and then I show you all the value. I mean, this workshop that we're going to do is probably about a $1,500 value of hands-on time that I'm going to spend with you on your business and the worksheets and things that I'm going to give you to walk through it. Okay. And then we have if you take action fast, you get something from me. If you pay in full, you get something from me. Well, at $9, you better pay in full. We don't have a payment plan on the $9. And if you need a payment plan on the $9, I ain't mad at you. I'm not being judgy. I'm just saying, this is not the thing for you right now. You have to take the things that I already talked about and implement those first and test the market and make your first $9. See, if you were paying attention, you could take what I taught you tonight and you can have another couple $100 in your pocket before our next Thursday class. So if you didn't catch all that, I want you to watch it again. And if you're listening to me as part of the podcast, we split this up into different podcasts. We split our Thursday night classes up. This class is already at 2 hours and 12 minutes. So with this class, it's going to be split up into 3, probably 4 podcasts. And so you want to go back and listen to all of them, or go out to YouTube where you can see me and you can see the value ladder that I drew. I love this thing. Isn't that gorgeous? All right, take your screenshots. Here, I'll put it up here. I'll take your screenshots. Let's see. There you go. Let me smile for the camera. Okay, anyway. I want an entry. I want an entry barrier. I would rather have, this is just me. This is just JJ Conway, okay? I'd rather have 7 people in the class that crossed the entry barrier than have 200 people that aren't going to buy anything. Because if you're willing to pay $9 to get into my the entry level to my class, then when we get in the class and I sell you the $29 packet, because of course, now pay attention to this if you're trying to start a business. I am modeling for you the business as we are teaching about the business. Of course, I can't give you everything I know in a day-long class. So we're going to have some you do it stuff that you can buy at the end of that class. And if you buy that stuff, you can take those worksheets and you can do them yourselves, and they're going to increase your profit and increase your effectiveness. But you know what else I'm going to have? I'm going to have opportunities for you to work with me in a done with you capacity where we're sitting down one-on-one and I'm entirely focused on you and your situation. Do you see how the value ladder works? Y'all, this is one of the most powerful concepts you will ever have. Okay. But I mean, in some events, yes, I want butts and seats. I want as many people in there. And if it's free, that's fine. It looks good on camera. But this isn't that. This is, I want people who are ready to change their lives. And you're not ready to change your life. You're just going through life kicking the tires. You know, and I understand. I remember what it was like to be $800,000 in debt. But don't you worry. The deal of the century will come around every week. The deal of the century comes around every week. And if you didn't know now, you'll know the next time. Whenever I put the registration number up early, you jump in on it before I reveal the pricing or the structure, and you might just get the blessing. All right. I think that's everything I have on this.
Don't forget to like this episode, subscribe to the channel, and ask your question at ladiesofwealth.com.